subtitles. Okay. Hello, everybody. We are here to practice our speaking skills. So welcome to the English speaking session. Today is Monday 15 or Monday, October 15. October, sorry, I had the difficult to pronunciate sometimes. So October 15, 2023. And today is Sunday here in Brazil. And it's almost midday. And we are here with our friend from China. So Alice, hello, Alice. How have you been? It's always nice to see you and practice speaking skills with you.
Oh, hi. Hi, Alex. I'm doing great. And you?
Pretty good, pretty good. So more excited to practice my speaking skills, and I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad that we can gather here because I know how difficult sometimes could be spend the Sunday time, the Sunday free time with study. So there are a lot of people who do not like that. They don't like to spend the weekend study. They like to spend the weekend doing nothing, just went to the park, went to some enjoyable things, but we are here, so we are different. We are commitment with our English speaking session. And without further ado, tell us a little bit about your English. Alice, I could not live to join, which means I noticed that your English is very well today. You have improvement. I don't know if you notice it by yourself, but I could notice that your English improvement so much since the last time that we spoke. Your fluency, your vocabulary, and your pronunciation. I noticed that. What happened?
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if I have improved my English skills since we practiced last time, but I know I have improved a lot since I joined this team. I practiced my speaking skills with you guys, and Alex brings a lot of new topics to our English speaking session, and I do. In order to answer these questions, I need to use some new grammar, new vocabularies, and I can also learn some new vocabularies. Besides, I can also improve my reading skills and my listening skills in this English speaking session. Because sometimes Alex likes to bring some articles in this English speaking session, and we need to read this. So this way I can improve my reading skills and learn some new vocabularies. So I think thanks to this group. Besides, I also practice by myself. These days, I listen to some English videos about the technical skills I need to use in my daily work. So I think after listening to English videos more and more, I can improve my fluency. Maybe when I am listening to the videos, my brain is trying to imitate the tone and the accent in the video. So I I can improve my fluency.
Yeah, I noticed that. I really noticed that your improvement is strongly. You have to improve it a lot day by day, and that maybe is more related to your personal studies because I know that you like to read. Sometimes you read some articles in your related, sometimes related to your profession, your career, and I really believe that is one of the majority of improvement that you got is related to your reading in your personal studies. But because really here when we are together, we are just practicing exactly what we learned, what you already learned, what you did learn during the last week. Honestly, of course, I just try with articles that I have been bringing here with some questions that I have been making here with you. We are just reinforce and try to make your brain remember the words that you got that you already studied. So that's what I think it's very important for everyone to know. English takes time and efforts. We do not learn anything, just stay here together and try and speaking. But how can you speak? I'm saying from people in general. So How can people speak it? And if they have no vocabulary to try to use it, they have no vocabulary, they never studied. How can they can hear and try speak it if they had not studied, they have not practiced by themselves or try reading? So when I see your speaking, when I know how you are speaking skills, uh, how your speaking skills have been improved, I'm sure that you have been studying by yourself. I'm sure that you have been spend time, at least 20 minutes. I believe that you have been improving a lot with your technique. So congratulations. That's what I noticed. And I'm sure that our colleagues and our followers here on the YouTube channel have been noticing the same. Okay, so congratulations for your improvement. That's what I think. And without further ado, I would like to share with you here. Let me share here our materials, our English topics for today's class or conversation. Let me share here, just a second. It is not fulfillment. So today I brought some topics for discuss. It will be related, of course, all of these topics is still to be related to English skills. So we have a lot of topics, questions, and some links that to practice our speaking skills. But as you know, Alice, I don't know if you already noticed it, but every questions or every meeting that we made it here some years, some months ago, it was related to I have been pick up these questions or pick topics from the IELTS exams. Why I did that? Because it's easy to me. It's easy to just pick up the phrases because it's already the phrases is ready. I just needed to pick up and put her to our classes. And the other point is, on the other hand, it's very accurately. So I'm sure that what I found there at their website to be real. So first, grammar. How can we learn? What did we learn about grammar? So this some three topics, three tips to improve our speaking skills in general or to pass IELTS speaking exam. So first, we're gonna talk about grammar. Grammar can be a major component during evaluation. So the questions will be mainly on the past, present, or future, or comparatives, superlatives, opinion-based, and so on. So you should mainly focus on grammar while in practicing. And that is exactly what do you think about this first topic, Alice? When talk about grammar, what do you think about grammar when you are speaking, for instance, when you are studying or when you are speaking effectively related to this topic? So we are talking about fluency. We're going to talk about fluency and structure. But first of all, grammar. Do you have a great idea about grammar? How is your grammar understanding about English?
I don't know, but I think grammar is very important for English learners. But sometimes I make some grammar mistakes. And I think the basic grammar is very important for English learners. For example, um, if I want to describe my day, I need to say I did something. And this is the grammar. I shouldn't say I do something. I do something means no I am doing something. This means now I am doing something. But this is the tense in English. I think this kind of basic grammar is very important for all the English learners. If we make mistakes in this basic grammar, other people may not understand us. But sometimes we really make some grammar mistakes, such as, for example, I say Alex ran today. This is wrong. I should say Alex runs. Uh, but I think this does not matter because other people can understand us. So I don't know the how to describe the importance of grammar. We should learn some grammar to let other people understand us, but sometimes we don't need to care too much about the grammar mistakes because English is not an art. We are human beings and non-native speakers, so we make some stupid grammar mistakes. That doesn't matter. So maybe I should divide grammar into two parts. The first part is the basic grammar, which we should learn at the beginning. The second part is the advanced grammar, such as some very complex sentence. This part is not quite important for the English beginners. We at first we don't need to spend much time on this because this will let us feel frustrated. But as our English level become quite advanced, we need to care about the second part. If we can learn the advanced grammar, this means our English level is quite high. It's quite near to the English native speakers level.
Yeah, indeed, I agree. That is exactly what the short answer here, the short tips gave us. We have been, of course, improving day by day about our grammar point. How can I say, for instance, the present and the past? How can I form the right sentences in the present and the past, or made a comparison phrase with other things? So that is the key. That is the basic structure, the basic grammar rules. But meanwhile, we have another tip called about talking about the structure. So practicing for the test based on the actual structure will make it easier to score well in the actual IELTS test. It will be easy for you to manage it, the time during the actual test because you have been taking practice tests with all the rules and regulation. Of course, there is no magic way to learn, in my opinion, structure. There is no magic way to get the structure of the structure rules just from day at night, overnight. So that is not possible. To get structure, it's more like how can I say, keeping studying. It's like a day by day, which means consistently. If you take some English studies consistently, you're gonna get the structure. You're gonna notice it. Where is the difference from right to wrong structure? So, but that is, as you just said, as when we started this English meeting, you told me that you have been watching some series, you have been watching some movies, and that is exactly what people should do, in my opinion. They should learn by other one. And you told me that sometimes you're gonna start to make, how can I say, try imitate it. You have we have the ability to imitate others' accent, others' phrases that we have learned on the videos. We watching movies with some phrases, and that is the key. That is how we got the instructor about language, in my opinion, of course. Because as I learn more watching movies and learn by reading, then study a little bit rules and rule by rule. So my way to learn is watching and reading. That is the two ways that I have been using on my own side to learn English. And how about you? What type of, which ways have you been using to improve your speaking or to learn English effectively? So you are more watching people, you look to see the words, or you read it, or you have been studying rules. Tell us a little bit about your English journey.
Oh yes. Let me think. Actually, I think learning English is not it's not something only related to books. Um, before I joined this English group. At that time, I liked to learn English from books. I learned vocabularies from books. I try to remember the Chinese meaning of every English word and try to remember it over and over again. And besides, after learning some words, I started to read some English articles and try to understand it. But at that time, I think I was just like a r- robot translator robot. This is not a good way of learning language. At that time, I could only translate every English word into Chinese, and then I will try to understand it in Chinese. But that's not a language. So after joining this group, I found that speaking is very important. We need to open our mouths and start to speak English. Although at the beginning our speaking skills is not so good, we only know very few vocabularies, and we only understand very simple grammar, and we usually make grammar mistakes. But no problem, we should try to use it. We should learn this in practice, try to let other people understand us, and try to improve our fluency. And at this time, we can try to learn new vocabularies and try to use this in speaking. I think this is a good way of learning English, and this is how we learn a language. We should never learn it from a book, from books. Let me give you a very extreme uh, example. My grandma was very old, so and unfortunately she was born in the war period of China. So at that time, China was poor, so she didn't have a very good opportunity to have the education. So that's why she couldn't read and write. Because she worked on a farm, so she didn't need to do these things, but she could listen and speak, and she could communicate with other people very well, and she could finish her work very well. So in this example, this tells us that reading and writing are not quite important. We Although some people have never read any books, they could grasp a language. So I think learning language is a practical thing.
Yes, indeed. I couldn't agree more. Like you just said, it's very. There are a lot of things, a lot of ways to really learn effectively. Of course, if we just got a book and start reading books about rules, about topics, it will be not. How can I say? Even to learn English, we must to have fluence. Which means the fluence on the content. Like read a book. How can I say that English, it's possible to learn English reading books? I say that if you got a book, for instance, I don't know how is which book do you like it most? But let me start by I don't like it, but let me start about Harry Potter, for instance. People love Harry Potter books, and maybe if they love these books, if they already read this book in their native language, for instance, they decided to start reading this book in English right now. Of course, they're gonna have a fluency on the knowledge that they are consuming, and of course, they're gonna be interesting on the short and the story, on the history of the book, and that is a good way to start. But they should not be just focused on reading, because reading it will be not enough. So they should start practice by speaking. They should start to make friends. They should start chat with other people and things like that. And I agree what you just said. There are a lot of books just tell us a little bit about rules, but I'm not into this type of books because I think there is uh, I know that I made a lot of mistakes that needed this help, but I'm more into learn these rules by videos, by speaking with my colleagues, speak with my friends, and they tell me where is my mistakes, and I learn that way. That's the way that I choose to learn. So I agree what you just said here about the some. We must be careful about boring ways to study, because if you got a boring way to study, maybe you're gonna give up. You're gonna give up in the middle of your journey. So the last topic, the last tips to help people learn or to help people pass the IELTS speaking exam, it will be fluence. Fluence. IELTS speaking test is not about knowledge. It's about fluence. You should be able to speak spontaneously without any effort. Your fluency is high when you do not give long pauses. You have to practice a lot in order to speak fluently. You can use the simple questions or take up the practice test to speak English fluently. So, what did you think about this topic, Alice? What is your viewpoint here, or your point of view about fluency? I already said for you here that your English is very well. You are speaking English much better than the last time that we you already was a good English speaker, but now you are better than the last week, because I believe since the last time that we practiced together was almost 2 weeks. It was meeting almost 2 weeks ago. So I noticed a lot of improvement in your English skills, and specifically at this point, fluence. You got a better fluence level. So explain for us. What do you think about fluency? What fluence is, and how can we manage it? Fluence.
Okay. In my opinion, to some extent, fluency means English level. Maybe in some people's opinion, and this is quite intuitive because native speakers usually speak quite fluently, and for English beginners, their fluency is not so good, and they like to pause in during the conversation, and they need to use the let me think to search some word in their brain, and sometimes in some particular topics they don't know how to describe this, so they need to think it over. Maybe sometimes they need to just pause their conversation and go to the dictionary to look up the new words. So I think fluency is very important because maybe this means how familiar you are with this new language. If you are very familiar with this language, you don't need to pause. You can speak it. You can describe everything without thinking. For example, we hardly ever pause when we are speaking our native language because we think that's a quite natural thing to describe things and in our native language. So we don't need to stop to pause. Mm, so I think the more fluency we have, the better our English level is.
Exactly. I agree. That is exactly what we should have got with our English skills, or English goals. We must think about fluency. One of our goals. We must put English fluency in the middle of one of our goals with our English skills. And I got surprised when I saw that fluency about IELTS speaking test is IELTS speaking test is not about knowledge; it's about fluency. So that was very interesting to know, because I always thought IELTS is, of course, IELTS will assessment our vocabulary, our grammar. IELTS will take notes about that, but fluency is one of the measure of scores that they're gonna put at our they gonna assessment us. They're gonna assessment our fluency more than grammar, more than structure. So fluency is one of the major grade, the major score that you're gonna get on English IELTS speaking test. And I got so interested on this topic because I have been trying to develop my fluency. And as I told you about your English is very fluent right now. And I have been telling to guys, to my friends here personally, and this group too as well, that fluency is the key to succeed. So how can you show other ones that to other colleagues that you are able to speak English, that you have English speaking skills? When they watched our video here, I have been share the link of this YouTube channel or our English speaking session with my friends in Brazil. When they share with them and they watch our videos, they tell me, "Oh, you are already fluent, man. I don't know why are you studying. Your English is so well. You speak fluent." And I answer them saying that, "Man, I'm just an English learner yet because if you notice, if you can to get an idea." How is fluence? You just needed to watch movies and watch it, some series, and you're gonna see exactly what is fluence. But yes, we are closer. We are closer to the fluence, and that is what I think. And I deeply believe that we are closer to the fluence with the level that we are right now. So feel good with our English level because I believe that we are in a good way, in a good mood when we talk about English. So let's get started with our first topic. So as we just gave to our colleagues, to our followers here, we gave some 3 tips about grammar and about structure and about fluence. Right now, we're gonna practice our speaking skills. Now this video is gonna start it because until now we are just speaking around. We're just talking about the general things. So let's talk about family member you spend time with, Alice. So first of all, describe a family member you spend a lot of time with. You should say who is this person and what you usually do together and what kind of person she or he is, and explain why you spend the most time with him or her. So feel free to answer these topics here. It's all your time.
Okay. I think this person is my husband because we live together and we spend the most of the days of the in a year together, and we do a lot of things together. Mm, Sometimes we hung out with each other outside, and we eat outside, and we do a lot of things related to um, uh, entertainment outside. And besides, he also started with me because we are both data scientists in the tech company, and we use a lot of common technical skills in our daily work. So sometimes we discuss something about our work and try to help with each other. And sometimes we study new technical skills together, and we can also help each other prepare for the interviews. Um, because we usually change our job. Maybe for me, I usually do this because every time I change my job, I can increase my salary. So preparing when I need to prepare for the interview, he will help me prepare learn some technical skills, try to improve my coding skills, and a lot of things. I think he is a very kind person. He hardly ever lose his temper, and I think I get angry more easier than him. So sometimes when we sometimes we also have conflicts with each other, and always he will how can I say that? I get angry more than him. So I'm very thankful to him, and because he how can I say that? Because he has a better temper, and he is also a very hardworking person. He works very hard in his company, and his technical skills are very good. He how can I say that? He has a very hardworking heart.
Is he more advanced knowledge about coding than you?
Maybe because I have 3 years of experience in tech company, and he has 5 years of experience. So I think he is more advanced.
Okay.
Uh, yes, and so because he coaches some junior employees in his team, and I don't have any ability to coach other people. I am trying to work independently now, because my working experience is shorter than him, but I am still working hard, try to be a senior data scientist and try to coach other people. And the reason why I spend the most of the time with him is that we live together, and we enjoy spending time with each other. So every weekend, we try to spend more time with each other. Although sometimes on weekends we have we need to have some social with our friends, but we try to spend more time with each other. Okay.
Nice, nice. That is so nice. I already know who you would choose to answer this question, because of course you already told me before, we already know each other a little bit, and I know, but that is very important to have a knowledge to describe this situation in English. So that's why we ask it this here to you. So you got the opportunity to answer who you spend more time with at your home, and you had the opportunity to say why and to tell about the activities that you are usually to do it together, usually doing together. So that was awesome. And of course, you spend more time with him because he is your husband. So that is the main point here. So thank you for sharing this information. That was awesome. And in my case, of course, in my viewpoint here, the family member that I spend more time with is, it's quite difficult, but it's my wife. Of course, it's quite difficult to answer because we spend even when I'm with my wife, her at home or at some places, we are with our children. Our children is together with us always, so it's quite difficult to spend more time with her because my children, as I told you, my younger son is 7 years old and my older daughter is 12 years old. So they both are always with us together. But I spend a little bit more time with my wife as well. As you already answered, so I could answer all these questions almost on the same statement. So who is this person? Is my wife. What do you usually do together? Normally we hang out with our family and our parents' house and at our friend's house or at the park sometimes, and maybe at the shopping mall as well. So this is the time that we pass together. Yesterday was a little bit different because we spent our all day long stay at home watching movies together. So that's what we did yesterday. And what kind of person she is? She's very smart, of course. A little bit. She's more. How can I say? Concerned about things than me. She's more stressed than me. I believe so. I'm a little bit more calm, resilient than her, but she's very smart. She's very intelligent, as I should say. And explain why spend time together. Why do we spend the most time together? That is because we are married for 12 years right now. So the next topic, the desired change to your local area. So describe a change that could improve your local area. So which means you should say what the change would be, how this change could be made, and what problems are causing the need for this change, and explain how this change would improve your local area. So here we are talking about the structure, and maybe you would like to move to another place, or maybe you'd like to the government help to build or to improve some topics at your area. So would you like to start?
Oh yes. I love my city. I think I my city is good, but there are still some disadvantages of my city, and which I think should be improved. But but I think it's hard. The first thing is that we have very extremely high house price in our city. You I think you even couldn't imagine that the house price in my city is nearly the same as it in New York. It- because
Yeah,
yes, although in the statistic um data online on some website you will find that the average house price in my city is not quite high. It's because a lot of houses are in rural areas, and all the in my city all the people tend to live in the city, in the downtown city, and there are no good education in the rural areas. So the average house price in the downtown um, Beijing is very high. It's nearly the same as is in New York, and I think that's crazy because uh, the average salary in my city is extremely lower than it's in New York, because New York is a very famous city in the United States, and it has very good in economy, and it is a very high developed international city. So I think this high house price causes a lot of problem in my city, and it's very hard for young people to buy a house by themselves. A lot of young people need to buy house with the help of their parents. Their so a lot of Chinese parents need to give their children all of their savings just to help them buy a house. I think that's quite crazy. And I think there is another disadvantage in my city, is that um, we have very high cost of education, because we in Beijing, if a child wants to receive good education, they need to go to the top school. But the top schools are all in downtown city, and we need to buy very expensive house. Um, that's our child can go to the top school, which is near to this expensive house. So we have very high house price and very high education cost. That's why the birth rate in our city is extremely low. And I think these two problems are quite severe. Maybe our government should try to solve this problem. But there are still a lot of advantages in my city, such as very good job opportunities, and very cheap service, a lot of good food, and there are a lot of shopping malls in the city, and the life here is very convenient, and a lot of the advantages. I don't get into these details because this topic is about how to change my city. So actually, in the future, my husband and I are thinking about moving to other countries. That's because the high house price and the high education cost. And This is part of the cost we want to move to other country. Actually, we think we want to experience different kinds of life, and we don't want to spend the whole life in China. We just want to experience new life, and I am thinking about move to maybe. I have some dream target cities such as Singapore, London, and Amsterdam. I think those cities are very good, but I know there are still some disadvantages in those cities. For example, in Singapore has very low tax rate. Um, the the top tax rate is less than 20%. The maximum tax rate is less than 20%. It's quite low, but the price in Singapore is very high, and compared to China, although we have very high house price and education cost, the other price are very low, such as the food, the service, the transportation are very cheap. But all of these things are very expensive in Singapore. And I also want to move to maybe London and Amsterdam, but the tax rate in these cities are very high. And actually, the safety in these cities are less, are worse than it's in China. So we can't find a perfect place. So I think my perfect place is where the price is like it's in China, and the safety is like it's in Singapore, and the view is like it's in Singapore, but the work-life balance situation is like it's in Amsterdam. But we can't find this kind of perfect place. So what we can do is to experience many cities and try to find the best place for us to settle down.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got your point. So honestly, you just needed to choose which you want the worst disadvantage. We just needed to choose which one is the most or the higher disadvantage to live in a country, because as you just said, each country has the positive things, but negative things as well. So we just needed to choose which country has the best advantage to live in. So, and in our point of view, of course, because I think in some ways maybe you think in a different way, and that's it. But I agree what you just said about living in a downtown is quite difficult, because everything is so, how can I say, challengeable, because there are a lot of the lot of people, the amount of people. So things start to be low quality, or maybe more expensive, or which is choose to be expensive. And you should start to choosing which things it to be more important or more advantage for you to invest your time or to invest your money, and start to be like a crazy. But as you told it as well, as you told us here, there are a lot of advantages to live in a huge city. One is that it's very easy to find anything that you want. If you'd like to go to the market, to the supermarket, to the shopping mall, to the movie theater, or to the metro station, subway station, and things like that, there are a lot of facilities, but at the same time, it's not so easy. There are a lot of things which is quite expensive. In my opinion, let me try answer related to my country, related to my area, the area which I'm living in. So I should say right now, exactly right now, the point which I really wanted that we had some improvement is about safety, is about security, about our country. We had, of course, at the state which I live is the state called the Paraná, which is the south of Brazil. It's one of the most safety states, one of the most safety, the most security state of my country. I consider, at least I consider it one of the safest. But even though we have so many problems with violence, with drugs, with people who are not so good intentional, and the area to where I live in right now, we have some problems with drugs, with people who are selling drugs closer to the my house. So that is a thing which really really concern my mind, really concern my team. So maybe I'm thinking the future and the closer future. To be honest, I'm thinking to move it, to maybe buy a new house, maybe buy another house, and I'm just looking forward to do it because I'm waiting for my wife starting her internship about the course that she is doing. She is studying, as I told, a software engineer. So she is looking right now for internship to get a deeply knowledge about this stuff. And after that, maybe we're gonna change our area. But that is, I believe, the word that is a problem which cause afflicts worldwide. So safety is not so. It's not so it's not tangible 100%. You just needed to choose which part of the country, which part of the city is more safe than others. So that's it. That's what we should. So in my opinion, safety it would be the thing that that I think that my government should make some efforts to solve, especially in some areas, of course, which is quite it's quite safe, but things are changing. So we must take control again. The government must take control again to do not leave this place start to be so proud about bad person and with bad person with drugs or with things like that. So that's what I think. In my opinion, this problem is to be related to safety. I'd like to have more efforts by the government related to our policy, the policy and the security team and my opinion, of course. And that's it. So, Alice, I believe that's it. We did. I'd like just to let me just return here. I believe we did. We finished our English speaking session for today. We spoke a lot of topics. Of course, we made some many advice here. We gave some advices for people who are trying to prove their English, and we use ourselves as a good example who are trying speaking and developer speaking skills together for a long time. And we have been we have been feeling successful at this topic because, as I told you, as I know, say our colleagues, our partners, our English speaking partners have been proved so much on their English speaking fluency. And I love to practice English. I love to speak English. I told for our colleagues yesterday, it's one of the things that I have been feeling so good when I'm doing that I'm maybe in the future, I don't know. I'm thinking about build some community to help or to maybe build some business on this area. I don't know. I'm thinking about in the future, but in the future for a long time, of course, not so. This is not so closer to my point, of course, right now. So I'm looking for the future, in the far future. And I'm so glad that you have spent time with me here today. I know that it's quite later at your country, and tomorrow is Monday at your country. I'm right. Tomorrow is it will be Monday.
Yes.
So, and you, of course, have to go to your job. So, I'd like to finish this English meeting here right now. And I'd like to say thank you to be here with me. I love practice my speaking skills as well. I note that you love as well. You like to speak, you like to introduce your new vocabulary, you like to show that you have been proven. And we note here, I believe that all of the followers which are watching us here notes that our English have been proven, and I'm so glad to note that. That's keeping my motivation on, and I'm looking forward to have more and more improvement at my English. But thank you to spend time with me here, Alice. Would you like to say anything? Would you like to finish it? I'd like to say, I'd like to give you the opportunity right now to finish this English recording session here. So it's your turn, Alice. Finish it for us, our English speaking session here. Tell us for the people who are watching us and to subscribe, maybe to give the comments below, and to never give up from the English learner journey and things like that. Would you like to try?
Yes, I'd like to do this. First, thank you very much, Alex, for having this English practice teaching session. And today you also brings a lot of useful and interesting topics for us to practice. And I really learned a lot from this English speaking session. And for everyone who is watching us, I will encourage you guys to join us and to practice with us face to face. We are very welcome for the new members. And if you are if your English skill is not quite good, or if you are not confident with your English skills, you can subscribe our YouTube channel. Yes, you can to watch our YouTube videos to know how many improvements we have made in our English skills. Maybe this will give you some confidence. And I hope in the future, when you are confident with your English skills, you can join us, and we will be very welcomed. Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you,
let us.
guys. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. As Alice told you, so see you the next English meeting.